A very warm welcome to IDFC First Bank presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 11. I'm Ritvika Gupta. Now tonight we'll be putting the focus on the home appliance market and the kitchen and bath sectors that share a common thread of delivering innovative products while having to meet the practical needs of consumers. In this episode, I'll be getting diverse perspectives from two distinct brands. One is a homegrown made in India product, while the other is a global brand with expansion plans in India. In the first segment, I'll be chatting with Ravi Saxena, CEO, Wonderchef, and in the second segment, I'll be speaking to Gaurav Malhotra, Managing Director, Hansgrohe India. Listen in. Well, I'm now joined live by Ravi Saxena, CEO, Wonderchef. Thank you, Ravi, for joining us today on Leaders of Tomorrow.
My pleasure, Ritvika.
So, Ravi, the home appliance market in India is a thriving ecosystem driven by a growing middle class and rapid urbanization. So, to begin with, tell us what's your outlook on the market in India?
Well, home appliances market in India is an exciting space to be in. The reason is that everybody in India cooks at home. We are not a society where at the drop of a hat we just go out. Yes, deliveries have started, food deliveries have started, and that they are making it easier for restaurant food to reach homes. But by and large, India eats at home because our home food is healthy, it's succulent, it's tasty, and we cannot survive on outside food which is oily and spoils your health. And when the food has to be cooked at home, naturally kitchen appliances and home appliances are sold well in India. The difference is, and that is where the opportunity lies, the difference is that the penetration of home appliances in India is not so high. Today, let me give you an example. The penetration of mixer grinder, which is the highest penetrated item in India, is just about 36%, which means just about 1/3 of Indian households are using a mixer grinder. If you talk about slightly more sophisticated products like an oven, microwave, even a toaster, an electric toaster or a grinder, the penetration is less than 7%. So you see the runway for growth is so much. Good thing is branded appliances are being adopted by various categories of customers in India, and that's why personally I'm very excited that one can see a 20-year runway for growth in India.
Ravi, Wonderchef is targeting 725 crore rupees in sales in FY24, and you aim to become a 1,000 crore rupees company by FY25. What's the growth strategy and how do you plan to achieve these targets?
We want to be a 1,000 crore company in the next 3 years, hopefully earlier if possible. Our brand sales should touch 1,000 crores in 3 years' time. Well, we have various strategies for growth, but I will focus on two here. One is our variety of products and the second is our distribution. In terms of products, Wonderchef is a full-fledged, full category player, which means inside the kitchen we do everything, whether it is cookware of all types, steel, non-stick, hard anodized, cast iron, we do everything, all sizes, all categories. If we talk about tools and accessories, we do all kinds of tools. In fact, we have been the pioneers of choppers in India. You might remember, just going back to the past, that the typical stereotype of a homemaker used to be that she's standing in the kitchen and cutting onion and she's shedding tears and everybody is crying because of the onion tears because of that. Wonderchef was the one who identified this opportunity and we introduced a variety of choppers, both electrical driven and manual. And we changed the market. Today nobody is seen crying in the kitchen because in 200 rupees you can get a Wonderchef chopper and you just put your onion in this, just pull a few strings and your chopping is done. So that is how we have touched daily life. And this way we have introduced close to 600 different products in the Indian market. Today we have a portfolio of 600 products. But we continue to find new segments. So we have cooktops and chimneys that we have started. We have stand mixers and OTGs. We have microwaves and dishwashers. Pretty much everything in the kitchen. And yet there is opportunity. The second part is distribution. We are a young brand. We are barely 10-year-old. We have not reached every nook and corner of India. In retail, we are present in just about 14,000 outlets. As a brand, we have the potential to be in 50,000 outlets. And that is the runway for growth that we have as a brand. And we are counting on that. We have an all India team, we have all India presence, and we are working on new distributors, new dealer outlets, new shops. Every day we are penetrating these new shops with greater depth in every shop. And that is what is going to provide us our growth.
So I want to talk a little bit about the manufacturing industry in India. It holds immense potential for economic growth and job creation. How has the government's Make in India initiative influenced Wonderchef's supply chain and sourcing strategies? And how do you ensure that you're using locally sourced materials and components in your products?
I can tell you, in the last 4 years, there has been a revolution. Why is that? Because I think the government has gone about it very, very intelligently. They have not stopped imports. They have not put punitive duties, because those things just hurt business. They don't necessarily promote local manufacturing. Instead, what the government has done is that it has brought in certifications that you require at various levels, which ensures many things. One, it ensures quality for the consumer. Two, it ensures that a lot more things are being assembled in India now. And three, it ensures that there is a track of how the manufacturing is developing in the country. How has that panned out? Let me take one example. It used to be fairly easy to import from China by and large, because they were doing the cheapest and the best products. And we will just bring in products and we will develop our products, we will give it to a factory in China, and we'll just bring them in and start selling. And we never really worked very hard at developing these products in India, also because the vendor ecosystem was not here. But 4 years ago, once this policy came into being, the government started with a very small thing. They said the wire, the connecting wire, the electric lead has to be Indian. Now you may say it's a very small thing. In an appliance, the cost of the lead is barely less than 2 or 3%. Why should it make a difference? But even that little step, you know what it forced us to do? It forced us to bring semi-knockdown kits, because the final soldering has to be done in India. And the moment we started doing that, we said, hey, if we are doing this, why not make the plastic body here? So we started molding here. We started building our toolings here. When we started doing that, we said, okay, why can't we bring in the motor also from India? Let's just use the chips from China, because India still does not make integrated circuits. But surprisingly, today 95 to 97% of our components are Indian. And every company has gone through the same phase, which means due to these small changes, almost 90 to 95% indigenization has already happened. Talking of Wonderchef, 4 years ago, only 7% of our products were made in India. Today, almost 85% of our products are made in India. That is the impact this policy has had.
Ravi, so I also read that Wonderchef has also partnered with around 75,000 women entrepreneurs for direct-to-home sales. Tell us more about this partnership and the opportunities you are driving for women entrepreneurs in your business.
No, that's a very interesting question, Ritvika. Thanks for asking. Wonderchef's DNA has been partnership with women entrepreneurs. That's how we started the company. And this segment still continues to be a mainstay for Wonderchef and the uniqueness of Wonderchef, because no other company in our industry has these kind of women entrepreneurs as their partners. What happens is that we recruit these independent women entrepreneurs. We train them in product skills, in sales skills, and in life skills. We help them financially also wherever possible, wherever required. A woman entrepreneur is able to earn about 2,500, 3,000 rupees per week, which may sound small, but if you see per month, this adds up to about 10 to 12,000. And remember that that is for just 1 day's work per week. So sitting at home, just learning about the products, now mainly through Google Meets and Zoom, the women entrepreneur is able to earn 10 to 12,000 of her own money. And this is very precious to her. This is very precious because a lot of small towns where these women are, they don't have job opportunities. Apart from some local government jobs, there's really no private sector.
Now, as a successful home appliance brand, what opportunities do you see for MSMEs in the current market? And what advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs looking to establish and grow their businesses?
The first advice I would give to budding entrepreneurs is that don't wait for starting your own business with your own money. Entrepreneurship is a mindset. If you just pass out of college and you invest your hard-earned money or parents' money into a business without any experience, you are most likely to lose it. So please do not do that. Become an entrepreneur first, which means work for companies, work for good companies, work as if it were your own business. Learn the tricks of the trade, work for 5 to 7 years, and then start your business. You are much likely to succeed. So be an entrepreneur. Work for others as if it were your own business. Second, what is the opportunity for MSMEs in our segment? And that brings me and links me to the entrepreneurship question itself. Well, let me tell you, building a brand is a slightly more complex process. A lot of things have to be right. Your thinking, your personality, your luck, your partnerships, your employees, a whole lot of things goes into building a brand. But when a brand like Wonderchef is built, it works with 100, 200 MSMEs. And that is where the opportunity lies. We design our products, we guide our vendors, our manufacturers into development, into manufacturing of those products. And people with small investments, but with an entrepreneurial spirit, can do that with our support. And this is what India needs. Millions of MSMEs who are manufacturing quality products, and that is the operative word, quality. Whatever we build, whatever we manufacture has to be with quality. If there is no quality, we will not stand anywhere, because quality is coming. Even in Indian companies, Indian entrepreneurs are going for quality, they are going for checks, they are going for standardization, they are going for standardization. So if there is no quality, you will die. So work with quality, work with the entrepreneurial mindset, and you will succeed.
All right, and well, looking ahead, tell us what are the future plans and vision for Wonderchef, both in terms of product expansion and market growth?
Ritvika, for Wonderchef, we will focus on our expansion continuously. We are an eager and restless organization by nature. So we continue to launch new products, studying the evolving Indian diaspora abroad as well as demands of the customers in India. We will continue to do new products. We will continue to expand our distribution. We will continue to market ourselves in more innovative ways, because our vision is that once we touch 1,000 crore number, we want to also list the company in the market. And that is the common vision that is driving the team now.
Thank you for being with us, Ravi.
Thank you, Ritvika. Bye.
It's time for a quick break here. On the other side, we'll be speaking about the opportunities in the kitchen and bath market with Hansgrohe India. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're watching IDFC First Bank Presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 11. And I'm now joined live by Gaurav Malhotra, Managing Director, Hansgrohe India. Hi Gaurav, thank you so much for speaking to us today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
So Gaurav, tell me, what is your take on the current luxury kitchen and bath spaces in India? Where do we stand globally?
Yeah, I think today bathrooms and kitchens are considered as an extension of the living room and not merely considered as a functional space. I think with the bathrooms and kitchens becoming the new destination for innovation and rejuvenation, consumers are constantly looking for holistic bathroom solutions. These actually keep their homes, the design of the homes timeless, and also integrate futuristic technology and offer luxury as well. And I think the key factor here is innovation, and that's something that resonates a lot with Hansgrohe. It actually is driving sustainable bathroom solutions right now as a concept purely at Hansgrohe. It brings out the best of quality, technology, and sustainability without compromising, obviously, on the aesthetics aspect, which is also critical.
Tell me, how has Hansgrohe, a leading German brand, recalibrated your products to meet the requirements in India? What's been your growth strategy for the Indian market?
Sure. So Hansgrohe actually has been around, at least from a product perspective, for almost 20 years. Initially, we were marketed by another Indian company, but our full-fledged subsidiary was formed since 2012. I would say, obviously there was a preliminary phase of setting up operations where we established the right platforms. We gained visibility by expanding our retail footprint. We've actually seen phenomenal growth. If you actually see the last 6 years, we've grown more than 5 times as a subsidiary in India. So this is the stage where we've become a lot more visible. And because of all of that, we are now part of the top 5 strategic growth markets for Hansgrohe across the world. Now, our mission is to leverage the cutting edge, resource-friendly technologies that we have into creating more individual requirements, into experiences in your own bathroom, but without compromising on sustainability, which is integral to Hansgrohe, also prompting both physical and mental well-being. So these bathrooms have also changed. Earlier they were largely functional zones. Today it's being transformed into the bathrooms of the future. We just had a beautiful display at the Ish in Germany around that. So it's a restorative space, but it's also a sanctuary offering some calm to rejuvenate yourselves physically, mentally. And the products are designed to suit any bathroom size, any bathroom environment. As one of the pioneers in the bathroom space, we also assure future-proof technologies, quality that lasts a lifetime and design that is timeless, and also innovative designs that exude elegance, set trends, and give a modern twist to well-known concepts. So consumers want to integrate technology, but also want an experiential aspect to it. So we've seen the demand also shift towards being more responsible. So more energy efficient, water saving bathroom products. And of course, after COVID, also a little bit of, touchless. I think ultimately it's about integrating the consumer needs with our strengths, which is innovation, technology, and design.
So Gaurav, currently Hansgrohe India relies entirely on imports from Germany. Are there plans to start manufacturing products in India as well?
From a pure manufacturing footprint, I believe that we still have to do a bit more. I'm happy to say that, as I mentioned earlier, we are now amongst the top 5 growth markets. So we need to have a different supply chain or a different footprint in India, which is why we will get into assembly fairly soon. And that's going to be stage 1. So I cannot comment about, a full-fledged manufacturing or the timeline related to it, but it is definitely on the cards as we speak ahead. Having said that, if you look at our basic investments into overhead related investments, whether it is moving from an organization of 20 people to more than 150 right now, whether it is moving from 13 cities to I think close to 72 cities now, or creating retail stores of more than 175 outlets right now in the country. These are the organic investments more from an overhead perspective that have really made the brand much more visible. So those investments, and now with an initial footprint of manufacturing in the form of an assembly, will help us scale up the volumes to larger steps ahead. That's where we are right now, and obviously in a very high growth phase as well.
So, the theme for our show this season is Ideas for New India. Tell me, what are some of the most significant trends or the big ideas that, in your opinion, have the potential to bring about substantial positive transformations within this industry?
Okay, within this industry for sure, but I think if you allow me, maybe a little bit above, or let's say industry agnostic as well. I think there are 2 approaches to it. One is a collective approach and the other is an individualistic approach. I think from the collective approach perspective, whether you call it for the industry or outside the industry, it is clear that it needs to focus on a mindset change. I mean, unless one gets into a mindset which is more exploratory, which is focused on efficiency, which is focused on growing together, you will not have the individual changes that come. So firstly, as a country, we need to make sure that we are working towards the future and our mindset kind of goes towards the new generation or the new century, which obviously lies ahead. That's also then translated into impacts on the bodies that are more industry specific, whether it is the government in general promoting sanitation, or as you come closer, whether it is the real estate industry, or as you then go even further deep into the key stakeholders, which are, let's say, the architects, the designers, the contractors, and then as individuals. So the change in mindset then translates into needs which are coming across. Needs to have an experiential delivery of product, whether it is ceramics, whether it is faucets, whether it is anything else that goes in the bathroom or the building and construction industry in general. Being close to consumer, extremely important. I mean, a lot of times in a lot of products, the Indian consumer was not exposed globally. Hence, the requirements of the consumer was different. I think it's fair to say that the India over the last decade is a very different India. People have traveled all over the world. They are much more clearer about what they want. Many a times, certain categories are not, let's say, considered as consumer close as, let's say, a mobile phone or consumer electronics or stuff like that. But more and more consumers are using the internet to find out technologies, to find out what they need. And it's very important for the companies to generate products that are closer to what the new India needs. So a lot more explorative, a lot more clear, a lot more technology oriented, a lot more future oriented are the key things that are coming. And from a company's perspective, a little bit of accountability, delivery in line with expectations, and obviously customer centricity. I think these are very, very critical for any kind of success that we right now, think that we would need in this country. And obviously, we are working fairly strong towards the same.
Gaurav, can you also elaborate on the strategies employed by Hansgrohe to, enhance product diversification and drive technological innovations?
Initially, it was all about, what is visible, right? And also obviously about brand. So you build a brand. Hansgrohe has been there in the market since 1901 globally and has been known to be the brand that is working towards showers to start with and then full bathroom products as well. So first was obviously building up the brand through amazing quality, through amazing technology, through delivery of basic quality and basic functionality of the products that last a lifetime. As the consumer started getting more, innovative, or let's say more demanding, there were other requirements that came in. Let's say our first thing was functionality, but also experience blending into it. So we have a select technology, which lets you change the flow of the spray by the press of a button, and then obviously offers you multiple spray patterns. So the consumer started getting a bit more closer to the product, a little bit more involved to the product. Then demands moved to a overall concept rather than a very product specific. So let's say water conservation came on board. Hence, we moved some of our showers to an eco-smart version, which allows you virtually the same experience, but at maybe 1/3 the consumption of water, if not lower in some cases. So this is how we moved from a functionality and technology perspective.
And if you can give us an overview of the sustainability initiatives implemented by your brand on a global scale, including specific measures, policies, and practices aimed at promoting environmental responsibility.
So I think first is very, very important to say that, water is life and it's also our passion. So, and that's why at Hansgrohe, we're doing everything we can to protect this precious resource with water and energy saving showers, faucets, and technologies. Also, it's actually in our brand DNA that we take responsibility for people, the environment, and the planet. And maybe I'll talk a little bit, I already touched base, but I'll talk a little bit about EcoSmart, which is about lowering water consumption in the showers, and about Cool Start, which is where you don't necessarily start water with a cold temperature or a hot temperature, because you save energy if you don't need to warm it up. So these are technologies that we are increasing in terms of the application of these technologies across the portfolio of products that we have. So from restricting it to a few products, we even aim, for example, for EcoSmart, we even aim that by 2030, we will actually have the entire range of products have EcoSmart. And that's in line with our aim to convert our entire water-bearing product range in Hansgrohe and Axon production facilities, processes, and our office spaces worldwide carbon neutral. So we are committed, and there is a need to turn emissions relevant adjusting screws together in the bathroom and kitchen sector as well.
Thank you, Gaurav. It was lovely talking to you.
It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of IDFC First Bank Presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 11. We hope you enjoyed the conversations. Thank you and goodbye.